Well, this is just a quick update. As I figured, and not surprisingly, the dogs are not paying attention to the flags. So I'm going to have to move the wire to protect the lawn while it's growing anyway. And then we can move it back after we have some grass here. But they're just too hard on it. Snoopy especially, he's the golden retriever border collie cross, and he likes to run and chase the other dogs, and he comes in here and just tears it up. So as you can see from the marks in the soil, that we don't really have a choice. So it's time to move the wire. I found a spot up by the shop, and there just happens to be a convenient break in the wire from time before when the wire got broke, so we can undo that and reroute it. If you're enjoying these videos I'm posting, perhaps you could click the subscribe button down below and like it if you will, and you can share it with your friends too. And I'll keep posting more. Thank you. The way the invisible fence works is that when it's buried, roughly 6 inches, that when the dog approaches around 2 feet away, the beeper goes off. And if they stick around long enough, then they get a small electrical correction, just a little zap. So when we found out that when we put the wire on top of the ground, it's probably closer to 3 feet because there's no interference from the ground. So from the flag line, we're going to put the wire back a little bit, as you'll see, and that will make sure that when they get to the flags that they know that there's something going on and it's time to turn around. So that beeping noise I just showed you, that's with the invisible fence module. That's how it indicates that there's a break in the line. So there's never any question. So in the winter time, when I happen to hit it with a snowblower or something like that, I can go, when I go in the shop, I'm notified that there's a break and that the hunt begins. Of course, if Invisible Fence brand installed it, they wouldn't put the wire on top of the ground. But as I mentioned before, we don't have any choice. I know they do have other products that allow you to put up like a geofence. So it's done through satellite. But I asked about it before, and it's really only effective for open fields. And because we have so much tree cover here, it might not work. I gotta throw some tape on that to protect it. This wire I used is, I think it's 12 gauge wire. It's pretty heavy. It might be heavier than the one they use under the ground. I don't know. I can't remember what they used, but I would have gone heavier just to make things better. I know part of the fence at the back is a little bit lighter wire, and that seems to be where we have the most breakage problems. It's expensive. The wire is expensive, so that's what we used. So that should be it. We'll go in the shop and check to make sure the fence is not beeping anymore. It shouldn't be. And then I'll put the dogs on a leash and go over and show them where the new line is. I'll show you how the fence works using Snoopy's collar. He's running free right now. Snoopy, you sit. You stay. Good boy. You stay. All right. So you can see where the flags are. We'll put Snoopy's collar, and it'll be quiet so you can hear it. Right there, so it's about a foot before the flag. The idea behind the invisible fence is if they go to it and it starts beeping, that it gives them a visual or an audio clue that they're to get away from that area. If they stick around in that area, then they get the correction. And the reason for that is some dogs are smart enough, they'll hear the beeping and they'll go lie at the line, and then they'll wait till the battery dies out with the beeper, and then they can just walk across the line. So Invisible Fence came up with the idea that as soon as they hear that beeping, it's time to get out, or then they get a correction. So let's try to do some training here. Good boy. Come on. Snoopy sat down before we got to the wires, which is a good sign. The other dogs might be tougher. I think what I'm going to do is you can put tape over the prongs that touch their neck, and that helps reduce or completely eliminate the sting, and then it just goes by sound. So we'll try that. That's Jax, and with Jax, whenever he hears the noise, even if I'm just testing a collar, that he freaks out. He starts barking. So having the prongs covered up will definitely he'll get the point pretty fast. He's a smart dog, and he's very in tune with his senses. He has, I'd say, better than normal hearing and sight than most of the other dogs. Come here, Jax. He knows something's up. Yeah, you're a good boy, aren't you? So you can see how I got the prongs taped up like that. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. What? What? You can see there that Jax, he just heard it and he knew right away because he's really in tune with it. Now for the other dogs. While I'm doing this is a good time to check the batteries. When you initially get the Invisible Fence, they recommend changing the batteries every 3 months. When we were buying the batteries from Invisible Fence, they were expensive. It was like $75 a year to be on their subscription service. But then I saw a hack on YouTube how to make your own batteries. So I did that for a while. And now you can buy super cheap batteries on Amazon. So that's the route we go. And just in case you thought this was a plug for Invisible Fence, it's not. They have a good product, but their batteries are stupid expensive. Actually, all their equipment is expensive and it's probably overpriced, but it works good. And you want to protect your dog's lives, so that's the price you pay. So at this point, when I'm taping up the collars, I'm taking them over to the fence, walking into the fence line and making sure that they are activated. And the batteries, we'll just see on this one. See, if you take the battery out, that's the battery there. Put that in. And you can see we get a flashing green LED there. So when the battery's dying, you'll get a flashing LED, flashing red LED there every once in a while. But if you don't see it, because it's on their collar or whatever, and it's pointed down, then, you know, they might walk through the fence. And just another note about the collars. We take the collars off every single night. Occasionally we might forget, but 99% of the time the collars come off at night. And then when you take their collars off, you just give them a little rub down around their neck. It might not be terribly comfortable wearing this. I think they get used to it, and I don't think it bothers them after a while. Regardless, take it off and cut them some slack when they're in the house at night. You can see with Sugar that she heard the noise too and backed off before it was too late. But we do have the prongs taped up. So I think it'll work pretty good. I'm going to leave the tape on for a day or two just to make sure they get the idea. But it'll work for sure. It's a good system. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the content. I got ideas for lots of other videos, but maybe you have an idea. So you can leave a comment at the bottom and I'll see what I can do about it. Please don't forget to like and share the video and click the bell at the bottom to be notified when I have a new video.